Hello, hello, and welcome to this taste challenge. We have this late morning taste challenge featuring from the Founders Company. I should show this one first. From Whyte and Mackay, John Barr Reserve Blend. There is the John Barr Finest Red Blend. I've not seen it. This has no age statement. It's from Whyte and Mackay. And don't know when it was introduced. It says 1881, but that's when Whyte and Mackay was founded, not when this brand was introduced. I hear different people saying it was in the mid 1970s. Someone said it was originally a Johnny Walker brand. Nice ruffled bottom. It's got like a bottom. Keep it from sliding, I guess, a little bit. Give it some traction. Not a bad idea. Squared off Johnny Walker style bottle. But I don't have any definitive information. The only information I have is Mackay and Whyte and Mackay is from Scotland, and most people don't sell it. But they do have it at a few stores around here. The one I know the best is Total Wine and More for $23. I have seen it, I'm pretty sure, at another store. Don't remember where. I did buy this at Mathern's, and it was $15.65. And I said, I don't know if that's a good deal or not. So I went home and I checked. And it was 23 online at different stores. So I said, well, that's a good deal. And I asked the manager, and he said, I said, what happened? You got a deal from the distributor? And he said, no, I bought this case, 6 bottles, and I never sold a single one. So I figured I'd sell it at cost, I guess. That's all I know. There's a handful of videos for it on the internet. Video reviews are pretty interesting, some of them. The reviews are pretty good. They're not terrible. They just say, oh, it's kind of bland, which I find it is a little plain. But it's about what you'd expect for $23. That's all I can say. Now this here is Piperdean imported. I think I paid $5.99 on sale, but the normal price is $6.49 for this 750 milliliter bottle. I did put a link below for Albertsons. It's made basically for the Albertsons store chain by the Founders Company. Introduced in 2016. Not a bad looking label. You know that bottle? That's a Sazerac bottle. Yep, that's right. The Founders Company is one of their alias companies. It's got the heather on there, some kind of Celtic symbol, which doesn't make any sense to me. But it has some meaningless statements like oak cast matured. Well, all scotch is oak cast matured. So, but maybe you don't know that, so you think, oh boy, this is Asian oak, as opposed to all the other scotches, which you didn't know about their Asian oak. An expertly blended Scotch whiskey matured in fine oak casks. Yeah, it was probably expertly blended because companies like Sazerac, the Founders Company, they have good source distilleries, and they say make these many thousands of liters a month or a year, and we'll pay you for it. And they ship it over here, bottle it in Louisville, and distribute it out to the Albertsons, Amigos, Jewel Osco, what is it, United States Grocery, whatever. Look at their website, Albertsons corporate website, and they list all these different grocery chains across the United States of America. You can get it cheaper if you get the bigger bottle, the handle, plastic bottle. I didn't want that, so I just got this, which is perfect for my needs. I've gone through about 80% of it. I got 20% left. Hadn't exactly stood out, but on the other hand, it's not terrible. And if you're the kind of person that says, I don't really care, I just want something cheap, I'm going to mix it anyway, I just want the cheapest whiskey I can find, and that's all I'm worried about. Well, that would be perfect, because it's no worse than other cheap ones from Albertsons. You can get, if you want American blended, you can get 75 South. Not much different than this. Corn based. You can get the Canadian blended. Canadian Crest. Bottle in Louisville. I would pretty much cover it. If you go to CVS Pharmacy, the ones that sell liquor, ours does. They have Grand Legacy blended Scotch whiskey, which I've never tried, but it's from the Founders Company. No, the Legacy Company, Louisville, Kentucky. Same size and I'm sorry, same type bottle. Well, of course, it says right. Well, anyway, on with the taste challenge. This one could mix me up because I don't think either one is real strong in flavor. Although I did find that the Barr, John Barr, who was a real person, one of these Scotch pioneers, they claim, it is a little smokier than the average inexpensive product. But compared to other products, it's not smoky at all. Like compared to James Buchanan Deluxe, it's nothing. That one's just a smoke attack. Compared to Johnny Walker Blue Label, it was a joke. That thing was just like smoked pork, so savory, you know, elaborate. But that's $200 more than the John Barr. So you might say, I'll keep the $200 and just go with the plain. I can't fault you on that. But anyway, there it is. We got a good 5-6 taste challenges left on there, I think. Trying to get these tasted down, you know, and extinguished so I can bring in some better quality things like Pinch, Hague. It's called Hague Club Pinch. Dimple Pinch. In Europe, it's called Dimple. Over in America, it's called Dimple Pinch. See it around. Cheapest place I've seen it, $32 at the lowest price. Valentine, another big one. What you call it? Can't think of the name. Valentine. Oh yeah, Doers. Another one. You know. And then I try to climb the ladder on those. Buchanan's Master, Johnny Walker Black. They all got upper levels. Not Piperdean, you know, but John Barr. There is a blue label, which I'm sure I'll never find. So I'll just extinguish that. I'm not gonna be searching around. But I'll probably be saying, "Oh, I'm finally done with John Barr," and then one day I'll see the blue label. Oh no, the blue label. The Barr's darker. But not by much. The consistency is the same. It looks like the alcohol legs are the same. I noticed with the blue label, the alcohol legs were different. The legs are the drips. You can call them drips, whatever. I don't know what you call it. I call it alcohol legs. I heard somebody use that term. It makes sense. It looks like legs. And that's the name of the Facebook group I started, Alcohol Legs. But the Johnny Walker Blue Legs look like intricate archways in gingerbread on an old 19th century porch or archway. I hadn't seen that in other whiskeys. NJ991. Hi, host. How are you? I'm fine. Trying to heat up those potatoes. Cook them slowly right now, but I'm going to flip them and raise the heat. It's just a potato, really. It's one russet potato. They had a whole bag for 99 cents, a whole bag of potatoes. So I just sliced it thin as much as I could, and put it in the pan like potato chips, you know, but without the deep frying, just the surface area. Then I'm gonna put some of that crema, that Olancho, Honduran cream, but I think it's made in New York, but it's Honduran style crema. And then some onions, of course, and I have some sausage, some Johnsonville sausage. They do a good job over there, you know, those guys. Jeep and Foodie Caleb says, good morning, Ron. Good morning to you. Well, here we go. I'm thinking that one looks darker. I don't know. I got to keep mixing them. I'm going to have to try to look away. Look away, Dixieland. All right. Those fruit trees are absolutely loaded with all kind of citrus, different types of oranges. I saw somebody out there picking them, but the lady told me, go and pick as much as you want. I don't want any. I don't like fruit. I know other people that would take that fruit They would definitely pick it. I know a guy, he would make wine from it, orange wine, citrus wine. Then he said, I make sherry. I tried some of his homemade wine. Ugh, it was pretty bad to me. It tastes like sugar, like he just dumped sugar and it went berserk. I couldn't drink it really. But what people around here drink, is they do a lot of home. I don't know about brewing beer, but definitely wine making around here. And there's a house down there south of me. They got the trellises. They grow grapes. What kind of wine? I don't know. Muscadine? I don't know. They've got a smokehouse also where they probably make their own andouille sausage or even boudin. I don't know. All right. It's musty, kind of. This one's musty, sort of like the peatiness. Like I said, the compost. Sounds bad, huh? But it gets that. That's why some people can't stand scotch. They're like, ugh. Smells like rotted organic matter. That's making me think it's the Piperdean, because I remember that with the Piperdean. Ever tried their wine? Whose wine? The people? No, I don't even know those people. I used to kind of talk to the old man that lived there when I first moved here 28 years ago. He was old then, maybe 70 something, and then he used to work at that store up at the corner, go in there and work. I guess he was retired from somewhere. And then I never saw him again. I guess he passed away. But I don't know those people. They keep the yard up. They're quiet. They're probably related to half the people in the neighborhood, because most people in the neighborhood are all related, brothers and sisters and whatever. Now, these other ones don't make their own stuff. They just make their own construction items. They build stuff. They love working on automobile engines, boat engines, any kind of mechanical device. If you throw it out, they're going to take it and they're going to rebuild it. Maybe they see your content. Nah. Hey, if they brought the wine over and said, try it, I'll try it. But I mean, it's just not going to happen. All right. Mainly what people make around here is hog's head cheese. There's the smokehouse on Highway 44. I could walk to that. My friend David, when he comes over, he's got to go over there. I got to go get some andouille. And they make crackling, pork strips to crackling. They make hog's head cheese. They make tasso. Boudin, maybe. But mainly andouille, of course. And they have their own restaurant that people go in. It's nice. And then there's Bailey's and Jacob's also. It's just an andouille place here. I really need to go buy some. That's what I'm going to buy next, andouille for my sausage. And I'm going to get some hog's head cheese and probably some cracklings. All right. Sounds healthy, don't it? This one is less aromatic. Corn, not the peat. I think it's the John Barr, which is kind of bland. Good, though. You say, how can it be good if it's bland? I don't know how it can be good if it's bland. A lot of big-time whiskey is bland, like major brands. Maybe I'm using the wrong term. Maybe it's mild. I should say it's mild. Okay, not bland. Bland is wrong. That's not really polite to say that, because it's really not accurate, I guess, because it's in the eye of the beholder, right? The taste facility of the person. I like the more smoky, inky, iodine-y, briny, like extreme Scotch whiskeys. You say, but you don't have any. I know, yet. But I like, when I try them, I'm like, yeah. But I might get sick of them, right? Taste. Beers, like the most bitter IPAs, right? The highest IBU IPAs. IPAs, the highest alcohol ones. But see, I don't drink those all the time. Just occasionally I'll try one. Oh, man, wow, that's great. But if I drank it every day, I might get sick of it. Like hate it, start to hate it. Like my friend David, he's like, I can't stand craft beer anymore. I'm like, what do you mean? He said, I just drank it too much. I can't stand it. And he was always buying $15, $20 bottles, and friends of his, all these expensive bottles, just drinking them all the time. He said, I was gaining weight. I was like 100 pounds overweight. My blood pressure was high. My legs were swelling up. I was feeling sick all the time. I said, you think it was the craft beer? Yeah, yeah. He said it was just too much. It's like too dense. It's too high calorie. And he just started preaching against it. So now he's like really enjoying things like Colt 45 malt liquor. I said, I can't believe it. You know, well, I can believe it in a way. He says just more like drinkable. And you just don't get sick of it. I don't know. That's just his philosophy. Is he wrong? Of course he's not wrong. How can you be wrong drinking what you want to drink? And he's telling me, look at those guys that we see on the internet. We know them personally that drink craft beer all day long. All they post every day is this one. So expensive. This one, 9, 10, 12 alcohol, ABV, percent alcohol. He said their stomach sticks out so far. It's like, so that is true. Yeah, I mean, mellow, right. What's your favorite beer? I don't really have a favorite beer. People ask me that all the time. What's your favorite beer? They're better the malt liquor. I don't understand that comment. People judge it, so I don't understand. I've been drinking a lot of Keystone Ice because it's inexpensive and it tastes really good. It has a lot of interesting qualities. Schlitz, another one. I never got tired of craft beer, but I wasn't drinking it like a regular drink all the time. You know, just. And he just said, I turned on it. But he buys it still. I mean, he does buy it. I'm not saying he doesn't buy it. I'm just saying he got sick of it. Jeep and Foodie said, I have to pace myself for craft beer. I have to weave in American lagers to balance it out. Malt, and then NJ says, malt liquor is good. People judge it so much. That's what I meant. Oh, yeah. They just judge it because of the mystique of it. That's a bad word, really. The bad character of it, meaning that the rap culture, hip hop culture, and all the silly commercials from the 80s and 70s. You know, Schlitz with beer, bull, Schlitz malt liquor bull. You know, they were comical, but it didn't really make people take it seriously. In the 60s, they were saying, you know, oh, it's got 4 different malts, uses 6 different hop varieties. Isn't it exquisite? No, no one cared, you know. Got more popular, I think, when they were emphasizing it's a party drink. Ooh, let's have a party. And then they even made the booklets, those brochures. You can get a copy on the internet. The Schlitz food guide, Schlitz malt liquor food guide, like food you could prepare that would pair well. It would pair well with. Well, it is like a Helles Bock adjunct, of course, but yeah. And if you look at it in that way, it's pretty good stuff. IPA is so overexpensive. Yeah, it can be expensive. Okay. You can get some inexpensive IPAs. Now, the quality is questionable, like a Trader Joe's. Bosoms, IPA and double IPA. $3.99. No, $4.99 a 6-pack. $4.99 a 6-pack for India Pale Ale and DIPA also. And that heavy lift vessel, that like a strong ale, 7.5%. Those are strange tasting, but I don't think they taste bad. They just are odd. IPA gets me sick, but Colt 45 doesn't. Well, it's all a personal thing. Let's go back to this. But it is interesting just like listening to people talk about it. I like to watch videos more than make them. People say, heck, you make videos all the time. It's true. But I'm more of a viewer. Like people say, you make the same comments. I like this beer. I've had it before. Well, yeah, I'm watching 40 different videos. I'm going to make the same general comment. I like this beer. I liked this beer the one time I had it. What else am I supposed to say? Make some long, drawn-out comment for the same. You know, I'm not going to do that. That's not the way I speak. The way I write on the internet is the way I speak. If I see people in real life drinking a beer, I'll say, oh, I had that once. It was really good. You know, that's it. And if they ask me to elaborate, I'll try. This one in my left hand has more of a peaty taste. It isn't profound and it isn't necessarily remarkable, but it's there. It's got more bread dough too. You say, you mean that's coming from the single malt? Yes, I believe so. See, the single malts give it the flavor, the bread dough, that dough. Now, if it's a, and usually they'd be using the Speyside, you know, so mild. Now, if they use an Isla, yeah, it's going to make it taste smokier. Get the James Buchanan, $35 a bottle. They must be using a lot of Isla whiskey. It'll just blow your head off with the smoke, figuratively. You just be like, whoa. This one has a little smoke coming through, but it's so minimal. That's why I say little. It's minimal. Blended whiskey gets a bad rap these days from the, I guess you call them the whiskey snobs. You know, they want to rag on everything. Blended whiskey has a place, obviously, since it's the most popular style of Scotch whiskey. Haha, the #1 selling Scotch whiskey in the world is Johnny Walker Red Label. You say it's all marketing. Yeah, when's the last time you saw a Johnny Walker commercial on TV? I don't see them. Maybe once in a year. They're not drinking it and hating it. You say, well, they're mixing it. They're mixing it. Okay, they're mixing it. Big deal. Why are you like paranoid about it? If you're focused on single malt whiskey, just focus on that. Just say, okay, I like this. All right, I'm trying it. Glenfiddich, 18-year age, whatever. Talk about it. You don't have to just be like obsessed. And I'll watch videos where they just keep talking about it. Oh, but these blendeds. It's like, why do you're almost like displaying a paranoia about it. It's like you're upset that people are still drinking blended. Well, you don't have to be an apostle. At this, you know, like a missionary. You're out on this cause. It's a great cause. That hurts I think it hurts your ability to get people to try new things because they just don't like it could come across as a bad attitude. And it's the same with beer, you know. Talk about the IPA. Why it's so good. Okay, let's worry about that. Not Budweiser. It's like, why did you have to bring that up? I watched a video today with Mickey's Malt Liquor. They were kind of talking about, well, we're going to do a trash beer. They haha. And then they even admitted that they drink it, and then they put olives in it. I said, why am I watching this? They drinking Mickey's Fine Malt Liquor with an olive. Well, I guess if you want to add olives to it, it doesn't make any difference to me. Voltron says, what alcohol YouTubers do you watch? Just about everybody I can get my eyes on that I can stand watching. Most of them I like. Some are just terrible, you know. But I'm only sub to you and Common Man Cocktails. There was a guy who kind of did a bartender type channel I watched, but I can't remember his name. I mean, I watch so many people. Rajay, John and Neely. I'm not even going to bring them up because it's too many to talk about. I don't look for reviewers. I just look for a brand of beer. And then I'll see everybody that's making it, the video. And then if I like what they're saying, I'll subscribe. And then I'll keep watching it, like Beer Issues. He's got a good approach. All right. So that was pretty good. And whiskey, you know, same thing. Scotch Test Dummies, the Whiskey Scout, so on. I mean, they do a good job. American Scotch Doctor's a new one. A lot of them get you excited. They're interesting. Then they give up after like a year. Never make another video. Been following you since 2013. You were the reason I tried malt liquor and other beers. Oh, I appreciate your support. I appreciate it. I'm almost 10 years into this next month. 10 years. I mean, all right, let's say about this. Let's look at this. One is a little smokier, one is a little peatier. Those are the differences, but the differences are not widespread. They're minimal, honestly. And if I was going to pick one or the other, I would just get the cheapest one. The cheaper of the two. Congrats, sir. Keep going. Thank you. I appreciate it. Voltron says, Ron got me to try, and I found out I like the Keystone Light. My friend David loves Keystone Light. He'll call me excited. You know, I was at Bromart. And he'll tell me what they've got. You ought to go get it. I said, well, I mean, I'm not going to drive 20 miles to get something. I can get a lot of stuff here. I mean, if I'm passing through, yeah, sure. I like Keystone Ice. Light. Oh, ice, says NJ. Yeah, for 4 years it wasn't selling it here. Okay, back to this. So We can get off on all these tangents, can we not? But it's all the same principle: beer, wine, liquor, right? $23 versus $6.49. Okay, well, you lose, John Barr. You lose. Clear-cut loss. The appearance is similar. The aroma is not that different, and the flavor is not appreciably different. There are minimal differences, but they're not worth. I wouldn't pay a penny more. I would not pay 1 penny more one over the other. So Piperdean is the clear winner. Now, is it some great scotch that I would recommend you get? No. I mean, I wouldn't even recommend it, really. I'd just say, well, you say, well, I'll pay $6.49. I don't even care. Okay, yeah, I recommend it in that sense, that you don't even care. You'll try it. It's a winner in that using that approach. It obviously sells like crazy. Every time I go to Albertsons, they got Piperdean everywhere. Just Piperdean, big bottles, the regular bottles. They got Canadian Crest, big and regular. I mean, they ain't putting it on the shelf if it's not selling. 75 South, there you go. So you say, oh, they got people going there and they buy it. Obviously, they buy it. Do they like it? They're not going in there because they hate it. And let me say this. That rum, that Albertsons rum, is pretty darn good. It performs way above its price point, way above. And you can say, oh, bleh, poo, I don't care, you're dumb. Well, fine. I bought a full-size bottle of Albertsons rum from Sazerac. You know who they're getting it from if you do your research. And Sazerac makes some expensive rums. They make rums cost you $100 a bottle. Easy, easy. But this was $4. No, I'm sorry, $5.98 a bottle, $5.98. And that's a really good white rum, silver rum. That is no joke. I'll stand by that. I'm not saying because it's cheap. It is a good one, and it can really compete. I mean, it's not going to beat Bacardi. You know, it's not going to beat what's that other big brand, Captain Morgan, but it can hang with them. It can hang with them, and really, it's a better value because it's so inexpensive. Your channel helped me to approach high gravity malt liquors in a way that I could understand where to come from. See, that's why I started the channel, because I thought there was in many cases, not every case, but in many cases, it was sort of a lack of perspective. That's all. Not that people didn't know how to taste beer. How hard is that? 10 years ago, they had very good channels. But there was some perspective problems. And I thought, I'll make videos. Maybe nobody will watch. I don't care if they watch. If they watch, good. If they don't watch, I won't get my feelings hurt. And when I got 15 subscribers, I was saying, hey, yeah, that's pretty good. My daughter said, wow, you got 15 people that follow you. I said, I know. There's 15 people that are willing to watch what I do. Because I'm just trying to look at the brands, you know, the long march through the brands. Well, now I didn't think I was going to get over 12,000. I never promoted it like begging people to subscribe, like, or to like, nothing like that. I just said, I like comments. I'm not out here to do it in isolation. I always answer comments, you know, that are worthwhile comments, not stupid comments like, your friend's a dummy, or, you know, hey, your shirt is too loud, you know, stupid stuff like that. But I mean, good comments, of course. This is the winner. It's clear. It's so clearly the winner. There's no question about it. Piperdean is the clear winner in this particular taste challenge. I don't mean it's the great scotch. It's hardly a great scotch. But I know this much. I think from my experience with Dewar's, which is a one-time tasting, this would beat Dewar's. And that Dewar's is $22 a bottle, but it has a strong grain alcohol taste. This has it, but it's not strong. So, John Barr, all right, go pay $23. That's fine. But I say pay $6.49 and you're getting basically the same thing with slight differences now. Can't beat that with a stick. You started drinking in 96, sir. Yeah, well, I started drinking beer in 1996, February 96. I was already drinking wine. I started drinking wine with a woman, but we won't go into that. Ha ha ha. In 94. And she liked the dessert wines like Taylor Port, Taylor Cream Sherry, stuff like that. Sweet, strong. I did too. I said, let's try this. Try it. So then I would just buy a bottle and drink a little every day, or not even every day, just a little. And I liked it. And then I said one day in 96, oh, why do people always talk about beer? Because people always talk about beer and I never drink it. I said, always talking about beer. I said it wouldn't kill me to try it. So I went to Winn-Dixie and I bought a 6-pack of Pony bottles, Miller High Life. Pony, you know, the little 7-ounce. They used to be a different shape back then. Now they're fat. They used to be skinny. It was like $2.99. $2.99 for a 6-pack of Ponies. I said, I'll try it because I can remember drinking it when I was like 2 years old or 3. People say, what? What are you talking about? Well, you see, my parents would have a barbecue or get together. They would drink Dixie beer, of course, Schlitz, Falstaff, but not too much Falstaff, but Miller High Life. And as a little toddler, you say, let me have some. And they would let you drink it. And they'd be talking and stuff. And you keep asking them, let me drink some. And it would taste so good. I remember as a little kid, 3 years old, the beer would taste so good out the bottle. You just drink it out the bottle or the can. But usually bottles, I remember they didn't drink a bottle. So, or they had these schooners, you know, the chalices, they drank it out of them. And it would taste so good. And my daddy says, my father now says, all babies love beer. He says that all babies love beer. So then in 96, I said, let me revisit it just for a lark or maybe a general interest thing. I liked it. I was drinking the Miller High Life and I said, okay, this could be an interesting experience. So I saved the bottle until it faded. The red faded. I threw it up. And then I said, well, let me try the next thing. So I bought Schlitz, Budweiser, Coors, well, everything, you know, everything. And then I said, oh, Miller Red, that red one with the guy playing the guitar on television commercial. It was called Miller Beer. I said, let me buy that, but I'll wait. I'll go back. And then it got discontinued. So when I went back a week later, it was gone. And I kept looking everywhere. I never could find Miller again. I was so irritated. But then now, 10 years later, I'm still going through the brands, try. Those days weren't live stream, I can remember. No, they had no such thing. I would have done it. Well, I didn't even have a computer. I would just go to the library and use a computer. I wouldn't. That's it. It was free. I mean, I'll go over there and I would say, and they had like rudimentary websites in 96, 97, 98, 99. They had them. Pabst had a very interesting website. And I would look. Okay, so anyway, that's the story. But now, so I'm going to say this is the Piperdean because of the more noticeable peatiness. I could be wrong. I wouldn't be too dismayed if I was wrong, but I hope this is not going to say JB, John Barr. I got it. I feel good about that because I recall John Barr, Piperdean having a little more peaty quality. Something to say for a 649 bottle. Now, what about brandy? Yes. I like to try the brandies. They're spicy. Most people don't care about brandy. It's not popular these days. It sells, but it's, you know, small part of the market. I tried to focus on brandy with alcohol eggs at first, and no one cared about that. It was actually called brandy something. So I changed it into alcohol eggs, which will be an all-inclusive website for beer, wine, and liquor. And then it got real popular after I did that. And I got people posting all day long. If you go to Albertsons, D.W. Anders brandy, yeah, it's worth getting. It's cheap, like $6.49. Hartley, well, I guess they use Italian brandy in the mix. You could get the Hartley VSOP. There's a lot of flavored Hartley. I went to Total Wine Saturday. The They had Hartley, Hartley Apple, Hartley Peach, Hartley, who knows what they had. And I said, I'm not going back into that world. And but I was buying so much beer. I was buying beer at Total Wine. I bought some really powerful beers, and not to mention expensive. All right, so anyway, to sum it up, been going on too long, but it's interesting. Piperdean is the winner in this taste challenge. Don't take this video the wrong way. It is not a great product. But when you go against products that are much more expensive, $6.49 versus $23, I mean, that's a lot of money you can save. It does okay. It does actually quite well. I think Sazerac is a company that's got things down pat. They got big brands like Southern Comfort, Herb Saint, you know that famous liqueur, Herb Saint, Pappy Van Winkle, Old Charter Bourbon. It goes on and on. Buffalo Trace. Every kind of rum, including the very popular Margaritaville line, which is extremely popular. Margaritaville. And then they got all this cheap stuff, and it's good. Okay. I'm 29, but I like hearing your history. Thank you. I'm 52, so Burley says, you. Chughead says, I like the objectivity you bring to the beer tasting world. Perhaps your naivete in 96 was beneficial to the less snobby beer consumers. Probably was. I wasn't totally naive, though, because I can remember back in 96 and before that you had beer snobs. Like I would go to like a Thanksgiving party or a New Year's party, and there were people like, oh, I never drink Budweiser. And I was just like, okay. And the guy's like, I only drink good stuff. Like, and he had Dos Equis, Red Stripe, might have had Samuel Adams Boston Lager, something like that. And he was like trying to show off, like, oh, I only drink this great stuff. And I was like, wow, that's impressive. And I was like thinking to myself, you're a show off. He was like, you wanted everybody to know I don't drink the garbage. It's like, okay, I didn't know I was going to start a channel, but I would have started a channel in 96. Except I had no money to even get a computer, so I was going to start a channel. Where do I go? And I had to go to all the major league ballparks, so I was doing that first. That was another project I was working on, go to baseball games at every major league ballpark. That was a project we started. My friend Paul, he couldn't finish. He got married. His wife was... she wasn't too thrilled with that idea. So I said, I'm still going. So once I finished every major league ballpark, well, then I had more time for other stuff. You know, I had to fly to Toronto, Canada, had to fly on a plane to Seattle, Washington. I mean, it was that was not like some kind of small time project. That was a major project. Go to a baseball game at every major league ballpark. I had to drive to San Francisco and Oakland and Denver and San Diego, LA, Anaheim. I mean, I made a round trip. But I mean, Arizona. It was a big project. I remember my dad buying King Cobra in the 90s. I had a Cobra. It had a Cobra in the label. Yeah, like our Cobra that was striking with the fins out, like the neck. I had a bottle. It looked great, but it faded. Like all the gold chipped off of it. So it didn't look terrible. I just threw it away. But that was a great bottle with the striking Cobra. Every beer, 99% that is, has its place and reason for being, says Chughead. Chughead. Yes. I agree with that. I would say, yeah, 99% of the beers I tried were good. Are there some horrors out there? Sure, they got some horrors out there. But they're not common. They're not common. And then they look like garbage when you buy them. It's like Earthquake High Gravity, 12%. I thought when I bought it, I said, I bet this is going to be terrible. I mean, I wasn't thinking, oh, I bet this is going to be world class. I was thinking, I bet this is going to be an atrocity. And it was. 3 hours after I drank the can, I puked into the toilet. I thought, this is really bad. 40 Street Legal, when I bought that in Trevose, Pennsylvania. What you thought? I was thinking how great it was. Obviously not. I thought, oh, this looks like mud. I bet this is a nasty malt liquor. Turns out it was. I drank a can and then years later a 40-ounce bottle, or vice versa. Made my bones hurt for 3 days. That's a bad sign if beer makes your bones hurt. Every time I would walk through the house, I would see it, and I couldn't stand looking at it. It would make me have flashbacks of how bad I felt. I just took the can, I threw it away one day, and the bottle. Threw it away. Axe Head. Oh, no, mama. Axe Head. I bought that in Cicero, Illinois. Axe Head. That was a year before I started doing video reviews. Intolerable. I couldn't eat. I finished it. How I finished that can, I never know. But I threw it away. The stack, 12%. You can still buy stack 8 to 10. It's terrible from what I hear. But the 12 was a nightmare, a living nightmare. I couldn't finish it. So, yeah. But those are rare. Those are not common. Yeah, I remember. I was 8 in 1999. Okay, I was 31. All right. Anyway, enough talking. So, this will count for Friday. It's exactly the way I thought it would turn out. Like, this is a video that turned out exactly the way I predicted. So whatever you watched is what I thought would happen. Does it always happen? Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Moral of the story, you got to do the blind taste test. You could stunt and talk about whiskey all day. Whiskey is this, whiskey is that. Okay, great. Beer, same thing. Did you do a blind taste test? Well, no, I just know. Oh, you do know. Okay. How about doing it blind where you don't know? And do it live. Don't record it. Do it live where everybody can see you. And don't be don't be a weasel and go delete it later when you got it wrong. Do it. And if you get it right, great. You can brag about how good of a taster you are. And if you get it wrong, you live with it. And I've gotten it wrong times. No. I got a lot more Sazerac brands coming up. I got Clan McGregor coming up. I got Grant's. Ugh. You could skip that video. I got J&B. That's going to be a great one. That'd be a great taste challenge. I got Cuddy Sark. That's a great one. That's a great scotch. It really is. It's so good. And then I'm going to go into single malt. Well, who's going to complain about that? Oh, I'm sure somebody will. Then brandy's coming in to play. Brandy. That Saint Remy XO, that's a jewel, baby. And I'm going up against Martell Blue Swift, Corbel, the Saint Louis, Brandy de Francais. Ooh, that's good, but you'll never find it. I was 19, says Voltron. He was 19. Okay, that's it. We got to get this video off the air. Just rest in peace to Eddie Van Halen, the true musical god. Perhaps an album revisit. Oh, yeah, I did Van Halen, the first album. I didn't do 2 or Women and Children First or what's the one with Mean Streets? You know, where they fight the cartoon kind of with the fists. You know what I'm talking about? Can never remember that name from 1981. Dive It Down. I didn't do 84. You know what I'm talking about. I have all of them. They're so good. I got married, was in college, had my first kid. You got to do that kind of stuff while you're young and dumb enough to do it. Right. Fair warning. Right. I can never remember that. Fair warning. How can I not remember that? It's like one of my favorite, maybe my favorite. No, I guess it's not as good as the first, but it's good. All right. That's enough. I got 2 friends. They're like having nervous breakdowns because Eddie Van Halen died. The man is like, what am I going to do? Where do I go from here? I'm like, are you serious? I thought he was joking. I was like, well, I'm sure you'll get over it. And then his sister's like, I'm so upset. And she's going crazy on Facebook. I'm like, you don't even know these people. Okay, anyway, that's it. Bye. Thanks for watching.